So in this category, there are, of course, we're looking for the best player. So it gives us an opportunity to talk about a couple of players and chat about their progress this season. I'm going to start the proceedings. I think this will be like a game of tennis. We bounce some names off and then we eventually decide who wins. I'm going to start with Jack Grealish of Aston Villa. Not as the overall player of the year. I don't think he's quite been that. He's been that level, but I think he deserves to be in contention with it. I think he's been fantastic.
Yeah, I think he's just one of those players that he gets the ball and like you're excited to see what he's going to do. He's been fantastic for Villa this season. Fair play to them. They coped it took a little bit of time, but they coped quite well, kind of whilst he was injured. But he's just. I think it's the fact that he picks up that ball and he's going to drive and he brings other players in fantastically. He can score himself. Like I say, it's just exciting, and the carbs as well. I mean, you can't. And that's the thing. You can't talk about him without mentioning the carbs. Even like you ignore the flowing mane of hair that he's got. It's the carbs as well. He's fantastic, mate.
He needs to go to a barber. He needs to get those fucking curtains have to go. They just look so stupid. They look so stupid. That's the only thing that annoys me about it. Yeah, I know he loves it, but he looks stupid. I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying that. I suppose this is your serve. Throw a name.
I suppose the easy one is Ruben Dias, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is the easy one. I know he's been kind of like the football writers' choice and the players' choice as well. He's sort of done the double there, hasn't he? But he's been brilliant for City this season. I think at the end of last season, there was a lot of talk saying, City need that defence needs a proper overhaul. Get rid of Stones. Stones was being linked with all sorts of clubs before Dias turned up, and I think that's the thing, is that not only has he had an outstanding season, but he's elevated the players around him as well, specifically Stones, and you can see that. You really see the difference as well. Like when Dias wasn't playing, for England. For England, obviously Dias wasn't playing because we couldn't find a passport for him. But Stones on his own, without that calming leading influence next to him, that's when he's liable to go off and drop a bollock.
Yeah, £61.64 million. We all knew that Man City needed to spend on their defence in the summer, and 32 appearances for the club. He even managed to get a goal this season as well. So
feels like a bargain, doesn't it? It feels weird to say, 61 million bargain.
32 appearances in the league this season, and a goal to boot. And he came from Benfica for 60 odd million. And we knew going into the season that Man City needed to spend on their defence, because that's what their problem was the previous season. They went out, they spent the cash, they bought in a good player. They may need to spend another billion to
get them over the line for the Champions League.
To get them over the line for the Champions League, absolutely. They're probably going to need another billion over the next year or so to get them to that Champions League title.
Yeah, and
I mean, we joke, of course.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Phil Foden. Let's talk about Stockport's own Phil Foden, and he's flourishing. He was flourishing this season. I just loved it, and he was fantastic for City. But we say that he does have a pretty damn good group of players around him that help him.
He does, but I think what I like about him is that you look at him and he looks like he's going to be weak, but he's tough. He's really strong on the ball, as well as being technically brilliant. He's strong on the ball as well, and that's something I really like about him. He gets stuck in that, which is it's great to see flair players in that ball. So we all love to see a good tackle going, and he loves to get involved.
Oh, yeah.
And
he gets stuck in.
One thing, do you know what? I remember before Project Restart last year. Last year.
Yeah.
I don't remember it all
Time.
now.
It's fluid.
It's a hell of a construct. But I remember seeing on Instagram, I think it was, or TikTok or something, where he was just doing shooting practice in his garden, and just ball after ball, and it was just like top corner, bob, and it was. I remember watching it, thinking like, he's gonna be. You just could just see you just see it in him, like he is going to be on fire when he comes back. In that second half of kind of last season, when Pep first started playing him regularly, you're like, oh geez, we've got a player on our hands here. And then he's just followed that into this season and just been fantastic. And to the point where nobody has been going, City have really been struggling without David Silva this season.
Just
almost forgotten about him.
Yeah, we pretty much did, and he's the product. He's the product of the Etihad campus as well. He's one of these new youth team players that's going to come through from this multi-billion-pound youth development system, which is one of the most impressive sites in the country. If you ever get the opportunity to go to that part of Manchester, go check it out. It's fantastic. You may.
I think to be fair to City though, what I would say is that their academy has been very, very good for a very long time, even before all the Saudi money came in. Saudi money did.
Emirati,
before the Emirati money came in, they had an excellent setup, and there's a lot of players that have come through there that you wouldn't necessarily kind of think, they've come through at City, but like you say, he's come through. He's one of the first ones to properly come through from there in this kind of era, and he's been fantastic.
I just want to bring in another name before we give out the award. This is probably not going to win the award, but Patrick Bamford. Oh my, what a season he had for Leeds!
Paddy Bamford.
17 goals in the Premier League for Leeds, and it was just first season back. He's done well, and the quite frankly, Patrick Bamford should win this award purely for calling out racism on Sky when he did a post-match press conference for Sky, and he said, well, I wish that certain organisations would get behind that, like they trying to eradicate it, like they got behind the European Super League, trying to stop the European Super League. So he really did call out a lot of people, and for that I think he might just win a special award at the end of the program. But I love that. I love that moment.
He's just an all-around good egg, isn't he?
He's just fantastic, isn't he? But let's talk about Leeds briefly and Patrick Bamford, because they've had a fantastic first season in the Premier League. Leeds are back. They're a top 10 club in England again. All is right with the world.
Get Clough in.
No, that means they get relegated.
No, I think with Bamford, I think that absolutely goes back to what I was saying before about the right club, right manager at the right time. It's the way they're playing suits him down to the ground. He was, because he came through at Chelsea, didn't he? And he was brilliant. He was brilliant for them. Didn't as a youth player, didn't make it into the first team. I think he only played a handful of appearances for the first team, didn't he? And then he went out on numerous loans as part of their massive loan system that they've got there. But he's moved around clubs, but he generally kind of started off scoring a lot of goals and then kind of turned into, like a bit of a John Stead, where it's like a target man who didn't really score too much. But then he's gone to Leeds. I wasn't expecting anything of him this season, if I'm honest. I thought, maybe 6-7 goals.
That's 17. Not bad.
Absolutely fantastic. Been a mainstay in my fantasy football team.
He's done really well. Let's actually talk about who we think is going to win. I think there's only one name, isn't there? It's got to be De Bruyne. It's got to be De Bruyne. Really? I can't not be De Bruyne. I mean, I'd say Salah's up there, but Liverpool just kind of.
Yeah, I'm biased against Salah because I think he's a secret bastard. So I would never vote for him.
Hashtag secret bastard.
Harry Kane, both secret bastards.
Yeah. Harry Kane. Son. Oh yes, Son. Fantastic.
No, secret bastard.
Oh,
He's...
Son as a secret bastard. But you have to be. You have to be. Son had a fantastic season as well. Kane, Salah. I just think De Bruyne. He's just so crucial to City. He's just there.
He is.
He's just
do
there.
you ever get the feeling though with De Bruyne that like, you know, they have those games where City are absolutely unstoppable, and it's all because De Bruyne is absolutely just he's bossing the game, and he's always good. But sometimes it feels I feel like sometimes he just goes, I'm going to operate at about 60% today. It's still going to put me well above everybody else, and we'll win maybe like 1 or 2-0 and it'll be fine. But when he really fancies it, when he just wakes up and he goes, I'm going to destroy everyone today.
Yeah.
And then you get those games, everyone's like, oh my God, De Bruyne. And then I just think like, mate, you could clearly do that whenever you want. I feel like he just goes, well, I can't really be asked.
But the fact that he does that makes me like him even more. The fact that he can give like 30% effort and he still gets like 2 goals or something like that. He's just like, I can't be asked to turn up against Crystal Palace. I'll just score 1 or 2 and help my teammates get a goal or 2, and yeah, that'll be it. And then he'll turn up against Manchester United and he'll bang in a worldie, and it'll be I just love him for that, and I'm disappointed that he's missing out on the Euros, although a little bit relieved as well that he's missing out on the Euros.
Yeah. Do you know, I mean, he's fantastic. You can't really deny it. I mean, so I was just trying to think about other players in those sort of top 4 really that we haven't really mentioned. I think about like we haven't mentioned anyone from United or.
I don't think anyone from United. Do they really deserve Player of the Year? They play well collectively.
I think that's it. As a unit, they've done well. Then Leicester is. I mean, obviously they're.
I mean, we'll get to. We've got a Bottler of the Year award, and I think.
Well, yeah. What about like Tielemans though? He's had a very good season as well, hasn't he? Scores some important goals.
I think Leicester's end of the season kind of dictates that they fall just below the threshold of. Because otherwise, I'd say Vardy, for his age, still one of the best players in the Premier League. But
but from a goal scoring perspective, he's been poor this season. He hasn't scored.
This hasn't been one of his better seasons. But
no.
Maybe old man time is starting to catch up with him. It'd be interesting to see what a Leicester team looks like without Jamie Vardy. That'd be interesting.
Well, they've got Ian Nacho now.
I mean, yes,
He's having it. So I think you're right.
De Bruyne.
I think De
Bruyne, Player of the Year.
Big Kev.
There we go. Big Kevin De Bruyne.
What have we got next, Dan?
Big old Kev. Big Kev De Bruyne getting the. I did play some sound effects in, but I don't think you heard them. Which is
I didn't.
An applause. You should have heard this. Big Kev De Bruyne winning the Player of the Year. There you go. That time it worked.
That sounds like somebody emptying an outdoor paddling pool. An outdoor paddling pool? Just a paddling pool?
That was me earlier, just with a microphone trying to avoid getting electrocuted.